Good evening, everyone. This has been quite the celebration, hasn't it? For those of us who have... Where's Swamiji? I won't be as brief tonight as Yudhisthira was with Swamiji, for those of you who were there last night. He introduced Swamiji one night without all the drama of how anxious he was, and he said, "And now Swami Kriyananda." And when he went to the back, Swamiji said, "Is that it?" That's the briefest introduction I've ever been given. But I won't be much longer. It's a great joy to be able to introduce Dana Anderson, who's going to speak to us and then help walk us through the rest of the evening. Dana came to Ananda in 1986, and I'm sure many of you know she has, since that time, and in an ongoing way, really become a global emissary for everything art and creative and wild, in the best sense of that word, free-spirited all around the world. You know, she's really established herself. So she comes here, she does a workshop, people flock to it. She has a studio and an institute in Italy. I mean, she's really tuned in, and she's really made her art a way of serving all over the world. And I just want to say, we were talking last night, and really for tonight too, around the whole notion of creativity and the fact that creativity is actually a state of consciousness. It's not about being able to do anything well. It's not the anything. It's opening to that divine guidance and inspiration. And as much as anybody I've ever met, she embodies that, which really speaks to the depth of who she is and the breadth of who she is spiritually and consciously, so that when I said a kind of wild, free spirit, as soon as you look at Dana, and when you hear her, you'll hear it comes with a lot of smart energy, a lot of wisdom, that she is just tuned in to what it means to take that divine consciousness and manifest it in the world in many different ways. So it's a joy for us to have her here, not simply because of her words, not simply because of her art, not simply because of how beautifully she dresses all the time, but because of all of what that means, what she is allowing, inviting and allowing to flow through her. So listen with your ears and with your heart and with your soul, and we will all be inspired.
Uh-oh, where did Lakshmi go? Okay, good. Lakshmi and Shanti, would you come up here for a moment, please? I'm sorry. I just want to begin. Can you turn this mic down a little bit, whoever's in charge, because it's like blasting me a little bit. I just want to begin with telling you something, because I'm going to share just a few things that I learned from Swamiji, which would probably take about 30 to 50 hours, but I'm going to pick one or two. And one of the first things that really stuck with me was Swamiji teaching me how to receive praise, because I would direct a play, and at the end of the play, they hand you flowers and everyone, claps and everything, and that was absolutely terrifying to me, and I'd be like, right? And so he really helped me to say, what you're doing in that moment is you're receiving the energy and you're channeling it immediately up. And you're making this beautiful dynamic happen in the room, this magnetism that fills the space. And these two deserve a lot of praise for this day. And so I thought we could just pour it on them, and they could channel it, right? Thank you. Okay, I hope we're still friends tomorrow.
She's in question.
I know. I love you, Lakshmi. So seriously, there's so many things that I could say about what I learned, and I think we all did. Those of you who know Swamiji, either when he was alive or from his teachings. But I really would like us to consider how revolutionary what he brought is. Sometimes it's hard to see and remember that it's revolutionary because he had this quality of bringing through teachings in such a way that it was so simple that you would go like, well, yeah, like I always knew that, right? Like he would say something and it would seem so obvious that you wouldn't be aware of the fact that he was sharing something very profound. He made it so childlike and soul remembering for all of us. And with the arts, out in the world of the arts, you're in an era of matter and form. And so for hundreds of years, we've been inside of this place where we think that art is making products and art is doing certain little dance steps, that's dance, and art is doing these things in a certain way. And what Swami brought back to us is that the arts are tools. They're vehicles for us. And what are they vehicles for? Not for all of us becoming fine artists that exhibit at the Guggenheim. We are given these tools to bring out our soul, to bring out the life of spirit inside of us. He has a book that he entitled Art as a Hidden Message, which is a very obscure title. But what it says, in essence, is that art is actually just a carrier of vibration. And its hidden message, the hidden message in every single work of art, every great painting, every fashion, every clay pot, everything that's ever made, is a vibration. And what we learn from these teachings is to look with different eyes, not the eyes of the rational, analytic mind that looks at something and says, oh, the composition, it needs a little more red in the corner, or the color palette is off, or these kinds of mental things. Learning to see with energy, with consciousness, what's beneath the form. And that's one of the main things that the arts teach us, actually, is to enter into and experience the energy that is happening beneath the form. And that happens when we do it, when we engage in it. And I love so much that Swamiji wanted every single one of us to be engaged in the arts. He really did. He really, again and again, said we all should be doing the arts, And he there's a phrase in spiritual tradition, many of you have heard, all of Krishna's soldiers look like Krishna, right? Our path is unusual in that we have so much art and creativity as part of it. Yogananda writing books of poetry, creating new chants, even painting and Swami painting, and just all of these things. I found hundreds of books, plays. The arts are here because in the age of energy, what we need is the army of Krishnas opening the channel inside. An army of Krishnas who are not trying to look like somebody or be like somebody or wear the right little ascot or have the, there's, sometimes we pick it up from the outside thread, I want to be like Swamiji, so I'm going to dress like him or something, It's like, how do you tune into your own deep center, the core inside of you? Last night, I shared a story, and I forgot to tell the most important part, so I'm going to repeat it just a moment, because it's actually at the heart of what I want to say, and that's one time I was going to see Swami, and I was discombobulated, and unfortunately in English you can't recombobulate, so so I was like at the door, and Lakshman was there, and I go, oh, Lakshman, I don't know, I feel so, I'm out of sorts, maybe I shouldn't come. And he's so great, he looks and he goes, Dana, you should have called. Swamiji never sees anyone unless they're already perfect. But that's the part I told. But what I didn't tell, which is important, is I was discombobulated, and when I walked in the door, within moments, I was completely centered, right? And I'm sure many of you who were lucky enough to be in his presence know that that's just what happened, right? You're in your center. That's the thing. You don't stand next to a saint or a great one or an inspiration on the spiritual path and feel your magnet go this way, right? You don't get drawn off yourself in order to be with them. The great ones take us right to our center. When we are in their presence, we come to our center. Is that so? And so that's what the arts are for. The arts are for bringing us to our center. And another important lesson that Swami taught me and taught all of us is what it really means to be original. Because in our world right now, originality is demonstrated in things like dead sharks floating in vats of formaldehyde. This is original, right? And it's original if you have something that's really sort of disgusting or, evocative, titillating, all these things, because what's original in our outside world of form and matter is what's on the edge, right? Don't you want to be a cutting edge artist, right? To be cool, you want to be cutting edge. And so everything is about the periphery. Everything is about pushing a boundary and breaking out of what everyone's doing by being different. And it doesn't matter where that different is coming from, it's just be different. And Swami taught that originality comes from the word origin. So what is true originality? True originality is coming to the place of origin within your own being. Coming to the place within your own being that is so uniquely you that no one else could possibly ever be the same. And at the same time, what do we find at the center of our being? What do we find when we come to the core of ourselves? Connection to the source, to the origin. The origin of our being is divine spirit. The origin of our being is God. The origin of our being is that divine fountain inside of us. And so this is the wonderful kind of paradox of the individual and the universal. When we become most truly ourselves, when we bring forth our own unique, original self-expression of who we are, then we actually tap into the most universal that is the same in each person, the place where we are all one. In that light someday, right? That light someday is right here and now. One of the favorite definitions of God that Yogananda loved so much, God, whose center is everywhere, circumference nowhere. And that center everywhere, circumference nowhere, is inside of every single one of us, in the imperium of the human heart, as Master says. I love that, the imperium of the human heart. That's where God is. And so when we are seeking God, in the beginning, we wander and we look outside, or maybe God's over here, and maybe if I do this, and maybe it's that religion, or maybe it's this book, or, this is looking for that light. And that's even far along. I mean, before that, we have some time following glistening, glittery, little tinsely things, right? Looking for the light. But the closer we get, the further we go, the more that we're just finding that light, that presence, that divine being is already inside of us. And so the arts exist in Dwapara Yuga, in the age of energy, in the unfolding era of consciousness expanding and opening. They exist as vehicles and tools to help every one of us open up and unfurl the petals of our being, to let every one of us become who we were meant to be. And when we do that, we find the presence that connects us to everyone. We find the source that allows our true being to flow into the world, not from our little self, but from our big self. And that's another lesson that Swami wrote so brilliantly. The original title of the book, Art is a Hidden Message, it may not be the original, but it was one of the titles, is The Artist as a Channel. And I think that is such an important point and message for all of us, that the artist, and who's the artist? Raise your hand if you're the artist. You are the artist, right? The artist, yes, we're the artists. And the artist, their role is to be a channel. And a reason, because I do this work in the world, I know that the reason a lot of people feel blocked in their creativity is they're afraid that inside of themselves they don't really have creativity. Like, I don't want to go because I won't know what to say, I won't know what to draw, I won't know what color to pick. I'll sit in front of the blank canvas and sweat, you know. And it's so good to know it's true. You have nothing inside of you. But luckily, that's okay, that's good, because you're a channel. You are a channel. We are channels. And so to be creative is not to, like, in your mind, come up with the next cerebral, innovative Shark Tank. It's to find that source inside and open the aperture of your heart and being so that the divine energy can flow through you. And really, the essence in all of the classes that I teach, the number one thing we're doing is opening the channel. That's it. Like, really. I use more words because it gets boring if I just say the same ones, but that's it. We're opening the channel. And that's something that we can bring into everything that we do. The arts are not just something that we're supposed to do on Sunday or as a hobby, like crochet or paint on the side, or it's not these outer things. The arts are, how do we make that dinner? We do it with creativity. We choose what's trying to happen in that moment right there. One of the wonderful phrases of Ananda is, what's trying to happen? That's a wonderful principle for all of us, all the time, to tune into. Not what do I think I should make happen? What needs, how do I need to organize the universe so what I've already planned is going to happen how I thought it should? It's what is trying to happen. And what is trying to happen always happens in one moment, and that moment is now. Now. And creativity teaches us to be in that present moment, because creativity is, in essence, the fresh response. The response that's like, what is it? What are the energies right now? What's trying to happen? Well, let's see. This reality's happening, and this reality's happening, and I'm feeling, and I'm, okay, I think we're supposed to maybe all do this. What do you think? Do you think so? And then we connect, and then we find what's trying to happen. And if you live at Ananda, you get to see over the years people really doing this. Like, you have a meeting and people are you might have your, like, hey, I really want this, but nobody's fighting for it, like, this is what I think should happen. You're like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I feel, but I'm willing to offer and surrender to something trying to happen. What is it? Do you see how creative that is and how much creativity feeds that? Like, if we are able to go into a place that just opens to the moment, opens to the reality around us, and says, what does God want to do in this moment? What wants to flow through me? How can I speak to this person, or help this child, or garden, or choose the seeds that I'll plant, or any of this? Not from the place of, I mentally create and make it happen, but from the place of, I open to receive the flow of divine inspiration. I open to allow that divine inspiration to flow through me. And so these things are so simple, not always easy to do, but so simple. And that's the beauty of what Swamiji taught all of us and gave to all of us, that the truths of the soul and spirit are the ones that the little children know in their hearts. And so you enter the kingdom of God through the portal of that childlike opening and self-offering. And that is really the core of the arts. You'll hear it in the music. You'll see it in the dance. You'll see it in the things that people create. You'll see that they're self-forgetting. They're becoming like Krishna's flute, empty, hollow, allowing the music of the divine to play through. And so tonight, we have a wonderful evening of many of the different modalities of the arts, and every one of them approached from the perspective of the artist as a channel. Every one of them approached from a place of self-offering. And the story and the theme of what we're doing this evening is from a beautiful poem and song that Yogananda gave to us, The Divine Gypsy. And it tells the story of our souls that are wandering far and through many lives and searching and wandering and searching. And out in the desert, out in the vast places outside of the cities and towns, outside of the culture, taking a step away from the world as it is that bombards us with a lot of messages about matter and form and materialism and consumerism. We're in a sea of that in our culture. The divine gypsy goes out into the wilderness and separates, comes to the place of aloneness inside, the place of emptiness inside. And they sing to the sky, and they sing to the wind, and they sing to my red cloud. I love that line. You'll hear it tonight. I sing to the wind, sing to the sky. I'll sing to my red cloud. What is a red cloud? Like, that's what's so beautiful. This is poetry, right? We all know what the red cloud means. And yet it's a little different for everybody, but it's the same thing for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like that universal and particular. The red cloud of mystical knowing, or the pillar of fire by night, and the pillar of, it's just so many resonant meanings. So the gypsy, the divine gypsy, the soul inside of us that is searching and wandering eons of time, lifetimes of time, decades of time, is looking for that place where they can find the Om. Roaming and roaming. And how do they get to it? They get to it by letting their own being sing the song of the soul's yearning. Sing the song to God. Your own beautiful, one-of-a-kind song that God is waiting to hear. That you came, you have a melody that's uniquely your own. And when you sing that song, when you sing to the sky and the stars and the wind and the red cloud, then you start to feel the Om. Beneath all the forms, beneath all of those shimmering tinsel lights, there is the Om. And then something very magical happens. You're roaming, and you're roaming still, but you're roaming with Om. I roam and roam with Om. And when you roam with Om, it's a different mode. It's a different way of being. It's still a journey in the world. You still have your job and your car and all the things that you do and your whatever it is. But your journey is now happening from a place of inner reverberation. Something inside of you is vibrating with the divine pulse, with the divine energy. And so tonight, I invite you all to experience this beautiful, beyond words, nonverbal, musical, poetic, gloriously beautiful experience of modalities of art entwining and connecting and swirling so that you can feel that yourself. Feel that gypsy inside of you that longs for the divine so desperately and opens to receive it by opening the aperture of your own heart. So, thank you, and
I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy. Roam, and roam. I'll sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing to the sky. I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky. I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to my red cloud. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll roam with all. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy.
I will be a gypsy. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll sing a song that none has sung. I'll sing to the sky. I'll sing to the winds. I'll sing to my red clouds. I'll roam, roam, and roam. King of the lands through which I roam. By day, the shade trees will be my tent. By night, the stars will be my candles, twinkling in the firmament. I'll ask the moon then to be my lamp, lighting my silver skyey camp. Oh, I will be a gypsy, roam, roam, and roam. I'll eat the food that chance may bring. I'll sip from crystal sparkling streams. I will line. I'll doff my cap, and off will go like a wayward brook from long, long ago. I'll scatter joy petals from my heart on birds, leaves, and wind, hills, and then depart to strange and stranger lands from east to west. Oh, I will be a gypsy. I'll roam, roam, and roam. Yet, when I lay my head to rest, I'll sing to thee my gypsy prayer, and find thee always, everywhere.
sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to my red cloud. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll roam, roam with all. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I will be a gypsy. I will be a gypsy. Roam, roam, and roam. I'll sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing a song that none have sung. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to the sky, I'll sing to the wind. I'll sing to my red cloud. I'll roam, roam, and roam. I'll roam, roam with all. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam. I'll be the king of the land through which I roam.
Let's meditate together now for a few minutes.
When song this soundless roar doth come, when drowseth matter's dreary drum, on shores of bliss on booming breaks, all earth, all heaven, all body shakes. The bumblebee now hums along, baby Om doth softly sing his song. From Krishna's flute the call is sweet. 'Tis time the watery God to meet. Cords bound to flesh are broken all. Vibrations burst and meteors fall. The hustling heart, the boasting breath, no more shall cause the yogi's death. The God of fire with fervor sings. Oh, his joyous heart now brings. Prana God with power sounds. The wondrous bells, the soul resounds. All nature lies in darkness soft. The star divine is seen aloft. Subconscious dreams have gone to bed. 'Tis then that one doth hear Om's tread. Oh, upward climb the living tree. Hark to the cosmic symphony. The soundless roar from home, the call for light or dark to roam. From home, the music of the spheres. From home, the mist of nature's tears. All things of heaven declare. Home, home, resounding everywhere. From home, the music of the spheres. From home, the mist of nature's tears. All things of earth and heaven declare. Om, om, resounding